Hello, and welcome to another edition of the Millcreek Government Channel. My name is Kim Clear, Millcreek Township Supervisor, and today with me I have a guest of honor. I have Mr. Terry Scutella, who is the chairman of Erie County Council. So welcome, Terry. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
This is quite an honor to have you here in Millcreek Township. You actually represent Millcreek Township, is that right?
Most of Millcreek Township.
Yes, that's right. So we are proud to have you, and you are the chairman of Erie County Council.
That's correct.
Oh, how long have you been on Erie County Council?
This is my third year.
Wow. And I think that something that I learned when I first started getting involved in government and in this arena, I don't think people quite understood or knew much about Erie County Council, what the function was, what they did. We see you on the news and we're like, okay, what do you do? Would you tell us a little bit about the role and function of Erie County Council?
We're a people service, human service when people need help. It's not. I came from the Millcreek School Board. I was there for 12 years, and when I started on county council, a lot of moving parts. It was like getting hit with a big phone book, and people do not know the function of county government. I still have people that come up to me today about their roads, about their trash pickup, and they're missing out on what we can do to help people that need help. And you try to explain that. Best time to do that is an open budget meeting, or come to a meeting and you find out what county council does and what we can do for the needs of the whole community. I represent Millcreek, but I'm elected out of Millcreek, to say it right, but I represent everybody in Erie County. My votes are not just for District 1 Millcreek, and another council person's vote is not just for that district. It's for everybody in Erie County. But we're elected out of 7 districts, so each district has a representative on county council.
I think that's one of my favorite parts of county government. And when the Home Rule Charter was developed in, I think, 1976, they wanted to make sure that Erie County was being represented by everyone throughout the county. I think up until that time, and correct me if I'm wrong, we had people from the city that were representing on Erie County Council, or as a council of people. But having separate elections, divided up between the different parts of the county, allowed a voice from all areas to kind of come in and to work for the entire county and not just a certain group of people.
Yes, prior to the Home Rule Charter, we were under a 3-commissioner government, and the 3 commissioners could be elected out of anywhere. They could all be from the city. They could all be from the east side. They're still representing all the people of Erie County, but this form of government is much better because each district is represented by the person they elected into office to help with the needs of all Erie Countyans.
That's so interesting. There are a lot of departments. That was something I found when I went into county government. There are so many departments that I didn't know existed. And as having been a school teacher, here I was interacting with some of these departments, and I didn't even know. What are some of the departments that exist under your purview?
Well, there's the county prison.
Okay.
Sheriff's Department, OCY, for youth and troubled youth, or through no fault of their own. One thing that there's not very many of these across the 67 counties in Pennsylvania, but we have a health department, and public defender's office, district attorney's office. There's so many offices that are under county government. It's mind-boggling. It
is. It really is. I think that again, as a school teacher, there were times I did have to call OCY, Office of Children and Youth, and to know, that when that call went there, the amount of human services that got involved at that point, I think was amazing to me. I guess I had no idea of the reach. County government affects the daily life of individuals in Erie County.
Yes, no matter what they need, and one good example is a public defender's office.
Oh, yeah.
Because everybody's entitled for legal representation if they happen to trip up and get into trouble. And that's funded through Erie County. They're an office in Erie County, just like the district attorney's office. They're funded through county government. And it's, we get funds from the federal government, state government. Naturally, we do have a county tax, and that just, it's a hard balance at budget time to see how much we're going to allocate to these different bureaus. And sometimes it's sad that we can't. You want to be Santa Claus and help as much as you can, and sometimes we're under limits.
Yeah, absolutely. What are some of the greatest challenges that you find on county council?
Probably the biggest is what we're going through now, what we've been going through is ARPA money. That was the pandemic money that when the pandemic hit, that was federally funded type thing. And using it for the people that were affected the most by the pandemic. And at times we sit up there on council, 7 of us, and an administration, and don't always agree on how much do we fund this instead of something else, and it gets difficult. And mind you, the 7 council people don't do it because of what they want to see. They try to figure out what is best use out of that money. And I believe there was $52 million, and we're in the second part of the $26 million. We have allocated some of that, and by the end of 2026, that's going to be ARPA money is going to be gone. And I sit and think, what are we going to do when that happens? Oh. How do we fund all these programs? How do we fund the homeless? How do we take care of children and things like that? And it's going to be tough.
Yeah, I feel like that was my, within government, you've got a budget this big, but you've got these many things that you want to do, right? And
yes.
this amount of people that you want to help, but it's only this big.
Yes.
So you've got to do as much as you can with that small amount.
Yes.
And 52 million sounds like a lot of money. When we first were told, I was like, wow, we could really make a difference. But again, it can't go all toward one thing. You've got to spread it out between, some different areas so that you're able to help, as many people as you can. So
that's correct. And like I said earlier, you feel bad if you can't help somebody to the full extent that they need help.
Yeah.
And I not just an individual person, but a group of people that are lumped into that issue.
Yeah, absolutely.
And one thing, being chairman of county council, every once in a while I mention to people, because my point of view is different than another council member or different than the county executive. That doesn't mean that we're don't like each other. Oh. It's just the opinion on what we think and what we try to do the right thing in our own mind. Yeah. And once the vote's taken, you move on to the next issue.
Right.
And I like to point that out to people so they don't think that we're contagion.
Oh, absolutely.
That we're enemies. We're not. We're trying to do the right.
It's not contention. It doesn't have to be.
It doesn't have to be, no.
Yeah.
But sometimes it turns that way. But amongst us, after the meeting, we'll go back in the office and talk and laugh, or some might go out and have a bite to eat or a beverage. And we know we have no animosity.
Yes.
Let me put it that way.
Yeah, that's wonderful. That's really good. And I think that's hard to manage probably too. I think, it's because you are so passionate about what you're feeling and thinking, but at the end of the day, you've done what you can, and then you just have to move forward. And that's what it comes down to. Yeah. What do you feel most passionately about that you've done over the last, 2.5, you're starting your 3rd year. What do you feel really good about that you've been able to do with council?
Something we did was, there was a resolution brought out with the 3 hospitals and the community college, and putting in money. What they're going to do at the community college is, because of the pandemic, we have lost hospital workers.
Yes.
I mean, you have traveling nurses now that go out and do that. And so what we're trying to do in nursing homes is, it was all agreeable that would put in X number of dollars and start doing the classes, different classes at the community college, which when you can get the three hospitals to agree on something,
It's beautiful. The trifecta.
You have to take that into consideration and really push for it, and then to include the community college, that something that has surfaced in Erie County and has just really taken off. It's unbelievable, and so you have the three hospitals, the community college, and county government that all took part in this, and I think that's a big accomplishment. It's gonna help with nursing homes. It's gonna help with RNs and hospital staff.
Yeah.
And I think that's a big must.
Oh, it's huge. I know that there is such a need to be filled, and I'm so proud that we have an Erie County Community College, and I know that you are a staunch supporter of the community college, as am I. And that came about because of county government.
Yes.
That the county council was instrumental in that.
Yes.
So thank you for continuing to support that.
And another thing I'd like to touch on is Pleasant Ridge Manor.
Oh, yes.
Our nursing home. And it's years ago when a senior member of the community couldn't take care of himself, they usually stayed at home, and somebody in the home took care of them. That's not possible all the time. And with Pleasant Ridge Manor, the people out there, they're just unbelievable what they do with the residents out there. And some of these people, I've been to a couple of awards for longevity.
Wow.
And I just so many different people that have been out there for 20, 25, 30 years. And the residents are like family to them. And we on County Council run Pleasant Ridge. We're the trustees. And so when you go out there, you get close. One thing that we did this year was our 100th anniversary. And I was able to go out there, one of the people invited out, and to give a little talk. And it was kind of interesting because they had a number of residents. The room was filled with the residents, and just speaking to them and them listening to you, it makes you feel real good.
Yeah. I think that one thing I can say about county government is that we serve people from birth to death. There are not many parts of government that can do that, and that directly affect children and seniors from beginning to end.
Yes.
So.
And another issue I'd like to touch on is the election office.
Oh,
the election office is under county council.
Yes.
They work for us. And it's a group of people that are just unbelievable in their jobs, especially now after the last 4 years where people are accused of cheating and fixing elections.
Yeah.
The people in our election office are just outstanding in what they do to get the election, the work ready so people can vote. Yeah. Keep it safe, keep it clean, and they just don't get enough credit from the outside. They just take it, people just take it for granted. It's election day, you just walk there, and it takes a lot of work. And it's, I would say in Erie County, it's one of the best offices in the state. The people that work there are fantastic.
I completely vouch. I can vouch for that, having worked with them and on the last few elections, the elections I worked on when I was on county council. And I can honestly and firmly say that I know that the election, for instance, in 2020, was honest and secure. So, and I think that's important for our residents and all residents of Erie County to know and hear.
Yeah, and I think when that's talked about, in a positive way,
Yes.
I think that helps get people out to
Yeah,
vote.
because we want people to vote and be
Yes.
involved and engaged.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Chairman Scutella, I am so happy that you joined me today and Millcreek Township. We are so proud to have you represent us here in Millcreek Township.
I'm glad you asked
And
me.
thank you for the work that you do on Erie County Council. We are better for having you on Erie County Council and in county government. So
Thank you very much.
thank you very much. And I would just like to thank everyone for joining us today. And for more information on Erie County Council, please feel free to give me a call or send me an email, or you can contact Mr. Scutella as well. Thank you very much for joining us, and we'll see you next time.